Stage 14 was an explosive stage. It was 117.5 kilometers and it finished atop the Tourmalet. There was a 17-man break. You see Sagan in there for the sprint points, Wellens in there for the KOM points, and also Nibali made it into the break, but it never really got much more than 2 minutes and the peloton didn't want to let it get away. FDJ was at the front doing work early. They seemed to like Thibaut Pinot's chances, and things started picking up even on that Category 1 climb. We saw Movistar hit the front. Adam Yates, he got dropped on that Category 1 climb, but the breakaway was still up there. Tim Wellens was first across the line for those KOM points, and he was followed by Nibali. Elie Gesbert, he caught up on the descent, so there was a group of 3 up ahead. And back in the peloton, Yates caught up to the peloton on the descent before that climb to the Tourmalet. So there were riders catching up to the breakaway as well. So there were 5 riders that caught that 3-man lead group. And then Romain Sicard went solo. Sicard was all alone at the front. He had about a minute and a half at the bottom of the Tourmalet. But then on the climb, Gesbert bridged up, and then he eventually dropped Sicard. So Gesbert was all alone up front. Gesbert rode pretty well. He surprised me with how well he rode, but there was never any doubt that he was going to get caught. The action was picking up behind from the GC guys. So Adam Yates, he was dropped earlier, and he was the first to go on the Tourmalet. Dan Martin was soon to follow, and then while all of that was going on, Gesbert finally got caught up, and that's when Movistar hit the front, and they were drilling it. However, Movistar, they kind of did themselves in. It was similar to what EF Education First did on that crosswind stage. Movistar was drilling it, but they actually dropped Quintana, so they had to stop pulling at the front. Things slowed down. Warren Barguil saw an opportunity, and he went off the front. And at this point, I expected Ineos to hit the front and just drill it like they used to. And we saw that a little bit. Wout Poels hit the front, but he didn't have his usual length and strength of a pull, and Team Ineos overall today just didn't look as strong as they have in the past. FDJ sensed an opportunity, and we saw David Gaudu and Thibaut Pinot, they both hit the front. Barguil was reeled in by this action. Richie Porte got dropped. Enric Mas got dropped. Valverde was dropped. And then Gaudu was just killing it, and he finally pulled off. Jumbo Visma had numbers at this point, so with about 3K to go, they had 3 riders. They had Lawrence De Plus, George Bennett, and Kruijswijk. So they had 3. Ineos only had Thomas and Bernal. They were able to put a few riders into difficulty. We saw Barguil, Fuglsang, and Uran lost contact. With about 1K to go, Emmanuel Buchmann from Bora attacked, and that is the point when Geraint Thomas started to be in trouble. He got dropped, and he ended up losing some time. I haven't mentioned him, but Alaphilippe was still there the whole time, so he was gaining more time on Thomas on another stage that we maybe wouldn't have expected that to happen. In the end, it was my pick for the day. Thibaut Pinot took the victory with Alaphilippe in second, and I think Alaphilippe rode a very, very smart race here because in my mind it looked like he let Pinot go and take the victory because he knew Thomas was behind losing time and he didn't have to use that little bit of extra energy. So he's, everyone says he burned a lot of matches early. Maybe he saved a match today. Here are the results for the day. Thibaut Pinot takes the victory. He was 6 seconds ahead of Alaphilippe and Kruijswijk. He'll gain 10 seconds on Alaphilippe today when you consider the extra 4 seconds he'll gain in time bonuses. So, Emmanuel Buchmann in 4th. He's doing a great ride. How long can he keep that up? Bernal finished ahead of his teammate Geraint Thomas, who was 36 seconds down. And here's the GC after the day. A lot of changes. Alaphilippe extends his lead on Thomas. He now has 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Kruijswijk remains in 3rd. Bernal jumped up a spot. He's now in 4th. He's 3 minutes behind Alaphilippe. There we have Emmanuel Buchmann in 5th. He's doing, like I said, just a great ride. No one's really talking about him. Pinot, he gained some time today. He's up in 6th place. He's 3 minutes and 12 seconds back on Alaphilippe. As each day goes by, Alaphilippe looks to be more and more of a real threat to win this race overall. But if you think he's going to crack, and he may in that 3rd week, Geraint Thomas, even though he had a bad day today, he still leads the rest of the GC guys. You see him at 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Pinot looks to be maybe the best of the rest of the guys. but he's still a minute and 10 seconds back on Geraint Thomas. And this is where that crosswind stage really comes back again. Thibaut Pinot lost a minute 40 that day. That could cost him the Tour. So a lot happened today, and there's really no time for these guys to catch their breath because here's tomorrow's profile. There's not a monster climb at the end like the Tourmalet, but there are a lot of climbs here. There's a Category 2 and 3 Cat 1s, and this is 185 kilometers, so it's a longer stage than today. A lot of climbs, and again, notice on that second to last climb, there are bonus seconds on the top, but I wouldn't expect anyone to be going for those at this point. Here's the final climb. The numbers are pretty solid. It's 11.8 kilometers at 6.9%. But if you look closer at the profile, you see most of the difficult stretches are early on in the climb. And at the last kilometer there, it flattens out quite a bit. So when you consider that for the GC guides, that climb isn't the best place to gain time. And if you look at the length and the difficulty of this stage overall, I think the breakaway is going to make it tomorrow. As always, the breakaway makes it harder to predict a winner, so I'm just going to go with the most obvious pick in Thomas de Gendt. I'll pick Thomas de Gendt to win tomorrow. Alaphilippe is going to stay in yellow. I don't expect much GC action. It is a long stage and Ineos could try to isolate Alaphilippe, but today at the end there, Thomas and Bernal were the only two left and Ineos just didn't look strong. So what can they really do tomorrow if they're not on their best game? But as is Ineos, you have to expect the unexpected. If Alaphilippe is going to crack, it's going to be because of an accumulation of effort over time. So we had the time trial yesterday, a very difficult stage today. Things are starting to add up. Could this be the day that Alaphilippe loses it? The profile to me doesn't suggest so. There are a lot of climbs, but they're not too super long or difficult. So I think it's not going to happen. Also, there are people suggesting that you're starting to see a French alliance with FDJ and Alaphilippe. And in my mind, it did look like Alaphilippe gave Pinot the win today. So Alaphilippe, maybe his team isn't super strong in the mountains, but he's going to have some friends in the peloton. So we may not see time gaps tomorrow, but it will be an interesting stage to see how it all plays out. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.